Hello, hello. Testing 2, 3. Okay, so welcome back, guys, for our second session, and we're going to resume discussing our figurative language. Okay, we're going to go back to hyperbole, and like my discussion with Zena, before we ended, we discussed how we can, we use it in our everyday speech when we are exaggerating. In our descriptions, okay, like I wanted to end our before we said imagine standing on a line and the line is too long and you go home and you tell you're describing that you waited all day in line, and of course you didn't really wait all day in line. It was just a long queue or a long line, so you ended up maybe staying a longer than you had expected. But did you really stay all day in line? No. Okay, but you're exaggerating. Okay, you're describing using you're overly expressing yourself. Okay, and this is what hyperbole is about. The next one that we have is personification, and personification is giving human characteristics or qualities to items or objects that are not human. It could be giving human traits to items, giving them to ideas, or even to animals. Okay, remember, animals, yes, we know that they are living creatures. However, when you give them human qualities, this is in English. It is considered personification. Okay, it is considered personification because you are giving them again human characteristics. This is the meaning of personification. Like for example, if we say the sun stretched its lazy fingers over the valley. All right, the object here is the sun. Okay, and we are personifying the sun. Okay, the sun here is being personified. And what do I mean by personified? I mean I'm giving it human characteristics or human capabilities or qualities. What am I saying that the sun is able to do, Ahmed? Ahmed, can you speak, or are you struggling with your technology?
No, I can speak.
Okay, so can you please tell us what are the human qualities that are given to the sun?
That it has fingers.
All right, so definitely that it has fingers, okay, that it has lazy fingers, okay, that's a human quality because we know the sun doesn't have fingers, okay. What else is the sun capable of doing? That is,
Stretching.
it's stretching. Oh, good. All right, so here the two questions that are going to be that we're going to be required to ask or answer, or is what is being personified. All right. What do I mean by what's being personified? It means uh, what is the item or the idea or the animal or the object
Sun.
that you're giving human qualities to.
Sun.
And in this example, what is being personified?
Sun.
The sun. All right. The next question that you guys, or the next question that you guys are going to be required to answer regarding personification is what human qualities, all right, is given to
Miss, can I
that.
see?
Of course, Rahma, what are
Fingers? It will be fingers?
that it has lazy fingers and it's able to do what?
Stretch it.
And it's able to stretch them. Okay. And is able to stretch them. Good. Okay, so that would be my personification for this. So whenever you have a personification question, be prepared to answer those two questions. What is being personified, and what are the human qualities given to this personification? Okay, so I'm going to clear my drawings. I'm going to move on to the next and final one that I wanted to go over, which is imagery. And of course, we know that imagery is describing things using our five senses. Okay, very important. and we said we have the sense of touch, the sense of sight, smell, all right, things that we could see, things that we could hear, all right. So if we say, I woke up to the glistening rays of sun into, entering through my window screen, then this is a sense of sight. Okay, you can almost imagine what the sun looks like. When you open your eyes and you see the beams of light entering your room through the window. Okay, so imagery, and we're gonna have a lot of imagery, by the way, in our poem that we're going to start on Thursday, which is The Names by Billy Collins, the first poem in your literature book. Okay, so just be careful of imagery because we are going to see it a lot. Okay, we can also have the sense of touch. If we say, for example, my soft pillow, I rested my head on my soft pillow. That's a sense of touch, okay? Because you are almost imagining a soft pillow under your head, okay? So again, this is imagery. All right. So I'm going to stop and I'm going to upload this presentation for you guys on SMS so that you would have the necessary definitions and examples in case you forget any of the sound devices or any of the figurative language. If you guys look here with me, you'll see that I uploaded a figurative language worksheet. All right. It has examples of a poem. Remember, the slash here means that the lines are divided. Okay, so read the lines of poetry. Slashes represent line breaks. That means he would write, but his hours are as busy. And then the second line, as bees in the sun. Okay, and then I want you to tell me what technique is being used. Is it a simile? Is it a metaphor? Is it personification? Or is it a hyperbole? Okay, and you're required to write the technique used here. Okay, and you can also circle it here, but these are choices. You don't have to really circle them, but I do want you to write or type the technique that is used on this line. And then you are going to explain your answer. Explaining your answer is very important because I want to understand that you understand how you retrieved or how you reached to that answer. So let's do number one together out loud. All right. He would write, but his hours are as busy as bees in the sun. Which device is used out of these devices? A simile, metaphor, personification, or hyperbole? Which device do you think is used? Jumana?
Assembly.
Bravo. Okay, we here we see a simile. Okay, and the simile is being used. Kareem, can you please give us an explanation to why you believe a simile is used here?
Yes, because that it says as that him is like that he's like bees, but it didn't give the bees any human traits.
Okay, so we know that it's a simile, or we understand that it's a simile because we're seeing a comparison between two unrelated objects using like or as. Okay, and here again, his hours, their busyness are being compared to bees. How busy bees are. We know that bees are very productive creatures that are always busy doing something. They have very organized tasks continuously. All right, so this is what the comparison suggests. Okay, so again, in how do you figure? You would say because a comparison is made using the word as. Okay, a comparison is made using the word as. You can also further explain the two items that are being compared. Okay, the hours of the boy are being compared to bees, or how bees are busy in the sun. This is to show that he's very productive and constantly consumed with work. Okay, and that would be it. Okay, so here again, it would be very nice of you to please not only tell me how did you figure, but mention if it's a simile. Mention what two things are being compared. All right. And you can also analyze the significance of them. All right. So here we're trying to show that he is a productive man, or he has a very busy schedule, just like a bee's schedule that's always full with tasks or filled with tasks. Okay. You're gonna do the same thing from 2 to 10. All right. There are 10 questions and they're poems. Don't forget that the line in the middle means that this is a break between two lines. So with processions long and winding, with the countless torches lit, this is again again this would be line one and then line two. Okay, the slash in the middle suggests that two lines. This is a split or a break between lines. Let's just do number 8 quickly. What do you think would that would be? With the processions long and winding, with the countless torches lit, what would you say? Any volunteers for this one? What, please?
Personification.
Okay, so what would you say is being personified?
The procession's winding.
Okay.
Uh,
I'm sorry, I think the share screen lost. Okay, 8, go ahead. Yes, what?
yes, the processions are being personified as them winding.
All right, so remember, that's possible. All right, but here it's not personification. But I want you to look at the second line with the countless torches lit. What would you
Uh,
say is here when I say the countless torches are lit?
Hyperbole.
Hyperbole, bravo, what? Okay, so here the figurative language that is used is a hyperbole because we see exaggeration, and the exaggeration here is exaggerating the number of the torches that are lit. Okay, the number of the torches are, they're countless. This is exaggeration. Okay, it's a hyperbole. All right, so we would say that this is a hyperbole, and we would explain that the author of this line is exaggerating the numbers of the torches that are lit. Okay, so I want you guys to do your best with this sheet, and we're going to revise them together again next week to make sure that you guys. I'm going to also post answer keys for them so that we would have them to study. All right. Next today, I want to go over and just revise our adjective phrases. Last time we met, we discussed that an adjective phrase is essentially a prepositional phrase. Okay, is essentially a prepositional phrase, and we mentioned that a prepositional phrase is one that describes that describes a noun or a pronoun, and we need to remember that because it's very important. An adjective phrase is a prepositional phrase that describes a noun or a pronoun, just like a normal adjective does. Okay, just like a normal adjective does. And we stopped at line 7. I believe last time when we discussed that here the Curie began researching the radioactivity of certain substances. And here our prepositional phrase was of certain substances, and it describes what? It describes the radioactivity. All right, and this is why we have an adjective phrase. Number 8. Okay, where's my prepositional phrase in number 8? The one this is, remember, this was exercise number 3 where we stopped. Number 8, what? Can you give me the prepositional phrase, please?
Uh, to be true.
Okay, so here the only thing that I want to comment about is, remember, to plus a verb is an infinitive. All right, to be is a verb. Okay, the word be is a verb. All right, so to be is a actual infinitive phrase, not an adjective. I mean, not a preposition. All right, you have another prepositional phrase in number 8. What? Remember, because again, guys, to be is a infinitive phrase because to plus a verb is an infinitive. To plus a noun is a preposition. To plus a pronoun is a preposition. All right. So, Warda, can you try again and give me the prepositional phrase that you see number 8?
About a new element.
Good job. About a new element describes what?
Describes theories.
It describes the theories. Okay. Okay. What kind of theories? Right. They're about a new element. All right. What about them? All right. Good job, Ward. Number 9, Kareem, can you give me the prepositional phrase in number 9? Their research on the mineral pitch blend covered a new radioactive element, radium.
On the mineral pitch blend.
On the mineral pitch blend. Good. All right. On the mineral pitch blend is my
Miss, can I answer the next?
sure, of course, Rahma. On the mineral pitch blend is our prepositional phrase, and what does it describe?
Rico.
It describes what again, Kareem, please?
Research.
It describes the research. Good job, Rahma. Number 10, honey, please give me the prepositional phrase.
It will be in 1903 and 3.
Okay, so let's stop here. In 1903, do you believe that this is an adjective phrase? Because remember, adjectives do not answer the question of time. That's an adverb, and that's what I plan on teaching you guys today. All right. So in 1903, yes, Ya Rahma, you're absolutely correct. It is a prepositional phrase. However, does it answer the questions of a prepositional phrase or is it an adverb? Because remember, we agreed that adverbs do what? They answer the question of time. All right, like when and where. Okay. If I say, for example, when were you born? If I say, when were you born? You can tell me I was born in 1987, for example. That would be me. Okay. In 1987. So in 1987 answers the question of when the verb born was. When did it happen? So in 1903, Rahma is a prepositional phrase. I agree with you. However, it is not a adjective phrase. And this exercise is focusing only on adjective phrases. So please try again giving me another phrase.
It will be for their discovery.
For their discovery. Good job. And what does it describe?
Nobel Prize.
It is a Nobel Prize, okay? It's a Nobel Prize. It's correct. All right, Nobel Prize. Good job, Rahma. All right. So again, this is where we stop here for this one. All right, and I want to go back to the book. Okay, and I'm going to go back to the book here, and we're going to share that I need you to add another piece of information, very important about the prepositional phrase, which is the adjective phrase, that we can have more than one adjective phrase in the sentence, and it could describe the same word, and we can also have another thing that I'm going to describe again. Okay, so here let's look at this example. Here's a gift for you from Uncle Steve. Now, we understand that the word gift here is being described, but it's being described using two different adjectives. It's being described used two different adjectives. Number one, this gift is from who? Is for who? Is for you. So for you is my first, my number one prepositional phrase describing the gift. Who or this gift is from who? Is from Uncle Steve. So from Uncle Steve is my second prepositional phrase that also describes the gift. Okay, again, guys, you always have to ask yourself. Someone could tell me, but Miss Yasmin, you said that the adjective phrase is always describing the word that comes before it, which is the word you. Okay, but you need to ask yourself, from Uncle Steve describes you? Did you come from Uncle Steve? No, of course not, right? So again, it cannot describe you. So if you think and ask yourself, from Uncle Steve describes who? It describes the gift. And for you describes who? It also describes the gift. So we can have two different adjective phrases, and they're both describing the same noun. Okay, so please be careful from that. All right, another example is here, a majority of the mammals in the world. Now we have two prepositional phrases. One of them describes majority, and the other one describes the object of preposition of the prepositional phrase before it. Okay, so remember, guys, this is a prepositional phrase. It ends in a preposition or an object of preposition, which is mammals. And we agreed earlier, and we did it today, that we agreed direct objects, indirect objects, and objects of prepositions are always nouns or pronouns. So, of the mammals, who does it describe? It describes the majority. Now, in the world is my second prepositional phrase. Does it describe the majority? No, because we said the mammals in the world. So, in the world here is not describing majority, however, it is actually describing the object of preposition of the prepositional phrase before it, which is the word mammals. So we have to be careful. Just like I told you here, from Uncle Steve cannot describe you because it doesn't make sense. But however, it describes the gift. So you have to always ask yourself, my prepositional phrase describes what exactly in the sentence? Okay? So again, of the mammals describes the majority, and in the world describes the mammals. All right? Again, one of them describes the word before it, the other one describes the word before it, which is the object of preposition of the prepositional phrase before it. Okay? Now I want to do a practice, okay, which is practice exercise number 4. And if you open up your textbooks, you will see that exercise number 4 is on page 139. Okay, exercise number 4 is right here. Again, I'm going to write the page in the grammar, in your grammar textbook. So please either have your grammar textbooks open to this page so that we can answer together, or share screening with you guys exercise number 4 to do it together. So let's keep an eye out on these words. The first letters of the words rest, ice, compression, and elevation form the abbreviation of rice. So what did please give us the prepositional phrase?
Of the words, and it describes letters.
Good, all right. Okay, so here again, I'm going to, all right. So it's of the words. And what are the words whether that it's of? Of the words, what? Doesn't stop
Rest,
at rest, ice,
ice,
compression,
compression,
and
elevation.
elevation. This is my prepositional phrase. And it describes who? It describes
Letters.
the letters. Good job, what? Okay, good, great. All right, number 2. Total bed rest is not necessary, just rest for the injured part of the body. Okay, now Kareem, this one is a little, we have 2. So we have to kind of find both prepositional phrases, and then I ask
For the,
ourselves which each describes.
okay, for the injured part is one.
Okay, that's number 1. And then?
Of the body is one.
and then of the body is 1. Now, for the injured part, describes what?
Um, rest.
It describes the rest. Okay, it describes rest. We need rest. Rest for what? For the injured part. Now, of the body describes rest, or does it? What does it describe? What do you think?
Bed.
It cannot describe the bed.
Sorry. The other rest. Bed rest.
No. Okay, again, rest for the injured part of the body. Of the body describes what?
Part.
It describes the word part, exactly. It describes the object of preposition of the prepositional phrase before it. Okay, so part, what part? Part of the body. So of the body describes the part. Okay, because you can ask yourself, what kind of part? It's of the body. So of the body describes the word part. All right, great job, Kareem. Jumana, please do number 3. Ice helps because it deadens pain and slows the loss of blood.
The phrases of blood.
Of blood is the prepositional phrase. Good job. And what is the noun being described?
The loss.
Loss. Good job. All right. It describes the loss. Okay. Good job, Jumana. Okay, let's go with number 4. Let's go with Zaina, please.
Okay. Ice also reduces swelling of the injured area.
Good job.
Yeah. Of the injured area is the prepositional phrase or the adjective phrase,
Good job.
and it describes swelling.
It describes the swelling. Okay, what kind of swelling is it? Or what part? All right, it describes the swelling.
Yeah.
Swelling of what? Of the injured
The
area.
injured area.
Good job, good girl. All right, let's move on to number 5, and let's go with Word, please.
Uh, uh, of elastic cloth,
Of
and
elastic cloth.
and it describes bandage.
It describes the bandages.
And there's another prepositional phrase.
Sure.
On the injury describes a strain.
On the injury describes the strain. Bravo. Good job, Word. Perfect. Number 6. Let's please hear from. How about we hear from Marwa? Please, Marwa, give me the prepositional phrase in number 6. This photograph shows an ice pack treating the injured knee of the athlete Robert Horry.
Of the athlete Robert Horry.
Of the athlete Robert Horry. Okay, this is 1. What does it describe? What does it describe? This adjective phrase, what does it modify, Marwa?
Knee.
It modifies the knee. Okay. Thank you, Marwa. Number 7. Number 7, let's hear from Tala, please. Tala, number 7. The last step in the treatment is elevation of the injured area.
Step.
Give me the prepositional phrase first, Tala. You have to give me the prepositional phrase first and then ask yourself, is it an adjective phrase and what is it describing?
In the treatment. In the treatment.
In the treatment is my prepositional phrase.
And
Good job.
and of the injured area.
Okay, in the treatment, and it describes so what does it in the treatment describe?
Step.
It describes the step. Good girl. Okay, it describes the step. All right, can you give me the second prepositional phrase?
Of the injured area.
Of the injured area describes what?
Elevation.
It describes the elevation. Bravo. Thank you, Tala. Number 9, let's go with Yusuf Tahrouk, please. Okay, I'm gonna save this. All
Yes,
right.
miss.
1 second, honey. Let me just clear this annotation. Okay, so we can move on to we finished number 7. Uh, um, and we're going to do number 8. The erect of gravity helps fluid drain away. Can you give me the prepositional phrase, Yusuf, and tell me what does it describe as an adjective phrase?
Helps fluid.
Remember, helps is a verb. We need the prepositional phrase. The erect of gravity helps fluid drain away. First, we need to locate the prepositional phrase.
Gravity.
Okay, gravity is only the object of preposition. We need the entire prepositional phrase that starts with the preposition and ends with the object of preposition.
Gravity.
Okay, so remember, this is the prepositional phrase of gravity. Okay, of gravity. All right. And what does of gravity describe?
Helps fluid.
Okay, remember, adjectives need to describe a noun or a pronoun. The erect of gravity. What kind of erect is it? It's of gravity. So of gravity describes what?
Erect.
It describes the noun erect. Remember, guys, adjective phrases must describe a noun or a pronoun. It cannot describe a verb. Describing a verb would make it an adverb phrase, and this is something that we're going to take most likely tomorrow. Okay. Number 10, Abdurrahman, please. Even injuries of a minor nature need proper attention.
Of a minor.
Minor is an adjective. You cannot stop here. You have to stop at an object
Of a minor nature.
Of a minor nature. Good job, Abdurrahman. What does it describe?
Injuries.
It describes
Injuries.
the injuries. Thank you, Abdurrahman. Perfect. Okay. So again, guys, this is what we did for adjective phrases. Okay. Remember, guys, adjective phrases are usually describe the word that comes before them. However, not in all cases. They can also describe the same adjective or the same noun. According to your weekly plan, we were supposed to cover adverb phrases today, but I felt like we needed to still exercise more on adjective phrases. You guys, according to the weekly plan, you guys had homework today to do the workbook, page 72, sorry, to do 73 to 74. However, I will not ask you to do that because we did not discuss adverb phrases yet. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to upload an adjective phrase worksheet for extra practice, okay? Because we don't have any more in the workbook, okay? So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to upload an adjective phrase worksheet for you on a grammar folder. So I need you to look at that. Okay, because all the other exercises related to adjective phrases include the adverb phrase, and we didn't discuss the adverb phrase. We're going to do it early in the morning tomorrow before we get into our novel study for Kira Kira. How many of you guys finished reading chapter 1 and 2 for Kira Kira? By the show of hands, how many of you read chapter 1 and 2 for Kira Kira? None? None of you guys read our novel, chapter 1 and 2?
I read one.
I read 1 too.
I read
Say,
one.
I read 1 and 2 and 3.
Miss, but the
Miss,
novel
I
is
read one only.
incomplete.
Zena?
Yeah, the novel is incomplete. That's why I didn't read all of it.
Wait, what does it stop? What chapter does it stop on?
I think
It stops at
3.
the beginning of 4. It stops
I
at
think,
the beginning of 4.
and also there are some missing pages. We need to find a new link because this one doesn't have all the pages.
So both links,
I have a novel. Should I send it to you?
please, who's speaking?
Adam.
You have a PDF, Adam?
Yeah, I have the complete edition.
Can you please send it to me? I would really appreciate it so that I could upload it right now for the students.
Okay.
Or thank you, Adam. I'm waiting. I'm going to log into Facebook, and I'm going to wait your message. If you can attach it to me, and I will upload it for you guys now to start reading. Okay, I need you guys to have read 1 and 2 for tomorrow's class discussion. Okay, so as soon as Adam sends me this file, I'll be posting it for you. So today, focus on you have 2 worksheets to finish: figurative language worksheet. You have sound devices worksheets, and I'm going to upload an adjective phrase practice worksheet. Until tomorrow, we discuss the adverb phrase. Okay, and then tomorrow, inshallah, we're going to work on analyzing chapter 1 and 2 from Kira Kira, and we're going to look at study guide for chapter 1 and 2 together and answer them together. Okay, so I'm gonna wait for Adam to send me this this file that he has the complete edition or the complete version, and we're going to do it tomorrow. Okay. Any questions about anything that we did today? Everyone is seems okay with the adjective phrase. Any questions about the adjective phrase?
No.
Okay. All right, guys. So I'm going to end today's meeting for now, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Please don't forget, keep checking your SMS. I will leave you guys a message on Facebook to notify you that I uploaded the full PDF file that Adam is going to send me. Okay. And then you guys can just work. And even if I don't, I mean, like the old link that Hassan provided and Ibrahim helped us provide, it also had chapter 1 and 2. Okay, so there's really nothing to hold you back from doing the reading. Okay, so please, if you didn't yet do the reading, you're going to be held accountable. Tomorrow, if I ask you a question and you are unable to answer because you didn't read, you're going to lose points for participation. Okay, because tomorrow is you guys had a whole full week to get that reading done. So there should be no excuses for that. Okay, so please work on that, and I'll see you guys inshallah tomorrow. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to message me, and you'll find your sound devices worksheet, your figurative language worksheet on SMS assignments. They're open until Saturday to hand in via SMS, and I will be posting also an adjective phrase worksheet as extra practice for our grammar lesson. And tomorrow we're gonna start our novel study and cover adverb phrases. Okay? Any questions? Any concerns? Okay. All right, guys. Have a great. Enjoy the rest of your day. I hope that your sessions go well. Take care and be safe. Okay? Take care. Bye.